Mike might be one of them guys. He might be one of them dudes that are canceled.
I think he's the founding father. Yeah, he's the founding father, to be honest. Yeah, bro. I mean, think about it. They don't really care about us. Like, what was he trying to say in that? Come on. Man had an eye for something.
Hey. All right. Hi, hooligans. It's Hooligans High, here with your daily dose of shit talk, field talk, and real talk. Privileged to be alive. Here with the brothers, the broskies, Kevin, Raj. Talk to me again, my boys, because we did this intro already. But talk to me again, my boy.
Cutbacks. What? Yeah, dude. Friday was pretty lit as far as I was concerned. And, you know, Kevin, I think I speak for me and Kevin when I say that, you know, we've been pretty turned. I know he had a double up somewhere, which he'll tell you about in a second. And yo, bro, I felt great as fuck today. I bumped up my workout time today for swimming, like hardcore, like an hour almost.
Let's
so
fucking really go. Gunshots.
Boo, 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 boo. And yeah, bro, got a lot of business stuff done like mad early in the day, you know, business, you know. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Kevin, what you got? What happened to you?
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm with you on the grind, bro. Just like literally dying on my way going to working out. As I got to the park, I parked, literally fell asleep for half a second. I was like, oh, gotta get outside before I literally fall asleep in the car. So yeah, definitely feel you on that grind shit. But yeah, weekend was pretty lit. Friday, you already know how it was. We killed that shit. Last guys' night for a good while before you come back. And then Saturday, had my own little function and I went to a Halloween party. Was dressed as Buckethead. Shout out to Buckethead. One of my favorite guitar players since I was a little kid. But yeah, man. Definitely enjoyed the Halloween weekend. Definitely enjoyed today. Happy Hallows Eve to everybody, of course.
Yeah, big shout outs. You know, if anyone listening, if you're still wearing costumes and you're around our age, you have my respects. I don't know about Jay. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? I don't even need Halloween to wear a costume, all right? Because like I just be wearing the Spider-Man suit all the time, you know, all the time. So, you know, I'm still a kid at heart. All right, I'm joking. I don't wear it that much. Anyways, moving on from that awkward moment.
This guy right
my weekend
here,
was good, guys. Thanks for asking. By the way, you guys never ask. My weekend was good. You know, I had a guys' night with. Did somebody say something funny? Because I didn't hear it.
No. It's just go on, Jay. Go ahead. Go have your moment.
Oh, my bad. No, because I really didn't hear it. My bad, guys.
No, you're good.
Anyways, I had a guys' night. I had two guys' nights. You know, one was a one-on-one with my brother-in-law, and the other one was my brother-in-law and my brother. We had good nights. You know, was on my man shit with whiskey and cigars. You feel me? It was a pretty cool vibe. I can't complain. Watch the fight. We'll get more on. Trust me. We'll get more on that later. But we watched the fight. Enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. Other than that, it's basically a chill ass weekend. I hadn't had a weekend like that in a while with all this work pod. So it's like, you know, content, all this shit. But it feels good to be back, boys. It feels good to be back. I fucking love this shit, bro. I fucking love this shit. Like I don't really care who listens to us, who doesn't listen to us. I love like just talking shit with you guys and also just creating this shit that we're creating. So yeah, guys. Enough of the hoopla and nitty. You know, let's get into the nitty gritty of things. You know, what are we starting with, boys? What are we starting with? What do you guys think we're gonna start with?
Yo, let me make something clear. I've been hearing a lot of high rise on a certain person we've mentioned the past two podcasts that have you know, kind of made himself a little bit more topically known. You know, so let's get our normal usual out of the way. We're talking about Ye, aka Kanye, aka the social media icon right now because of all the bullshit that he's been spouting. Jay, what you got? What do you got for us?
Oh shit! All right, so basically, Kanye West has been in the news lately. So not surprising at all. You know, like what else is new? But he's basically been saying that he said this. All right, this is not a funny quote, but this is it's like such a Kanye way to say things. He's like, um, he says he now knows how George Floyd feels because he has like everybody on his neck right now, and that's a wild statement to say, but it makes the news. And I want to see what you guys think about Kanye because I don't really want to spend too much time on Kanye, but I want to see where you guys are kind of at. And if you guys don't have anything, just shoot it back to me. I just want to see where you guys are at with it.
Kev, you can go. I'll save my opinions for last.
No, of course. In my case, I think Kanye right now is seeing the consequences of his actions and what he's saying. There was something where he said that God is humbling him, which personally, like, I know how Kanye is on his religious thing, but at the same time, to throw God in this, it kind of, I don't know, it kind of alleviates the responsibility on him. But at the same time, I see where he's coming at saying that. But aside from that, who's surprised that Adidas, dropped them? They violated the contracts with them. But on a bright side on that, he owns everything. It's everything back to him again, so he's able to move freely on what he wants to do with that.
Yeah, just to clear that up. My bad, bro.
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
clear it up. It was no. I'm not. I was just gonna clear this up, just to give some info. He was cut. Adidas cut ties with him. They dropped him. They ended the partnership. Gap ended the partnership with him, and I think Balenciaga cut ties with him. And then there was also this thing on social media where now like all of Kanye's friends were like for example, Nori was like Nori officially cuts ties with Noriega. There was a Jadakiss when Jada officially cut ties with Kiss. Like it was the funniest shit ever, bro. Like there was like a whole trolling moment. Like Lil Duval when Lil Duval officially cut ties with Lil. He's just Duval now. Like it's the funniest shit ever. Like people were just trolling.
Christ.
People were just trolling everybody, like cutting their ties with Kanye West, right? Now, Kev, are you done giving your thoughts?
Yeah, basically, I'm just surprised that we're finally getting an actual immediate reaction of repercussions of everything that he's been saying for the past 2 weeks.
Okay. I guess it's my go, right? Last pod, I didn't have the right words to say, but I'm not gonna say too much on Kanye. In my point of view, Kanye is a radical artist, and the world is his canvas right now, right? And his form of expression is now he's leaving it open to interpretation. He's not pulling any punches. Do I agree with his methods? Not really. I would go about things differently. Do I agree with some of what he says? Yes. Do I disagree with some of what he says? Of course. Because as a human being, you got to be careful and tread lightly because you can always your words can always spawn and incite action, and sometimes action can be radical too, and then the radical action the consequence would be violence, right? It would equal to violence, right? So that's why I would tread lightly, not because I'm afraid to say what I need to say, but because you never want to incite violence on another group of people, especially Jewish people who've had that just broad, really rough, tough history, that we learn about in school. And so I think Kanye right now is in the middle of just trying to influence and also shape the matrix into what he wants it to be. You feel me? And that's why it comes full circle, because I don't know if it's for himself or for the world. A lot of the times he talks about the world. A lot of the times but the thing is, now the world is his canvas, so he wants to paint it a certain way. And, the powers that be are up against that. And now, unfortunately, it goes to prove a lot of Kanye's points, right? look at everybody that cut ties with him. Look at everybody that look how everybody's just. It's like this barrage of assassination of character, but these are the consequences of your words. But my thing is, we have to learn as a society to have public discourse. Like, just everybody have their opinions. Obviously, push back on the points that need to be pushed back, but nobody should be deplatformed or have their monetary sources to be compromised, right?
Of course.
Sure.
So let's look at the canceled people who should be canceled, right? R. Kelly should definitely be canceled. Bill Cosby should definitely be canceled, right? These are people who we've canceled because of their actions, right? Now we're canceling Kanye and a lot of people. I'm not going to mention any names. I might have mentioned them in the beginning of the podcast, but they're canceling a lot of people because of their words, right? And this is this is where we as a society now we have to tread lightly, because we're in a very weird place in a society where you're not suffering the consequences of your actions, but you're suffering the consequences of your words, and that's where things could get iffy things could get unstable as a society. So that's where I stand. I just know that we could provide pushback to Kanye, that we could have disagreements, but he shouldn't be this attacked by the platforms and medias, because it just goes. Some other people might say, oh, it just goes to prove his point, and then they react on that point radically. And then it comes back full circle to the violence and shit. So we never want to see that happen. And we're at the tipping point right now, gentlemen. And that's where I'm at with it.
All right. So here's where we get canceled. So,
oh shit!
Here we
It was
go.
a good run. 6 episodes, not bad.
So Kanye, he has literally made himself so undesirable to the media that he's literally lost most of not all at this point any ties. Like, again, Jay, like you said, his main one's Adidas. But did you guys know on George Floyd's side of things? Did you guys know that apparently Kanye stated that he donated money to like everything that happened to him and whatnot?
$2 million. Yep.
Did you know that's false?
That's false?
That's false.
Oh, shit.
From a statement from the George Floyd family themselves, it was $250,000 that they received, and it was amongst the family from people of the George Floyd family / best friends, close friends, all this stuff. And him stating that was a way for him to cover himself up after that radical comment he made about like you said before, George Floyd. He understands what George Floyd was going through and whatnot. The other thing is, he also talked about there was a random thing. I don't know the location. That was one thing I didn't catch, but there was a random like bit of media, like a really tiny press conference that happened outside of some like random parking lot that he had with like a bunch of people. And did you know that he started admitting to some things? Did you know that Kanye got admitted to a Jewish doctor? And apparently he prescribed him some pills to help out with all these radical feelings he's been having. Now, again, we all know Kanye needs a little help. Like, the man's gone a little out of whack. I think these Jewish comments and all those other things have come from that main source. Because remember how I mentioned last podcast, there had to have been something that triggered all this? I think that was his trigger. He admitted it himself. It's on live footage that he did that. And on top of that, all he's been pointing out ever since then is how the Jewish banker this, how the Jewish producer this and that. He even pulled up. He had to go out of his way to point out that there were apparently a chart where it talks about all the social platforms and music platforms and everything, like anything entertainment based. Did you know there's apparently a graph? And now I'm not sure how accurate this graph is. I haven't looked it up myself, but if you guys at home or if you guys yourselves want to look it up, apparently there's a graph that shows what races apparently are within, the budget and everything, and there's a bunch of red lines, and apparently from what he was describing, apparently they're all Jewish. And this is where he's getting all his radical ideas. Yo, I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's right, but he's trying to cover up all these unnecessary plot holes that he's been putting in. He's trying to find any little bit of information that he can to try to cover these unnecessarily radical statements. And he's trying to do it in any way possible so that way he doesn't get as much backlash. He wants to go back to what he was, because he admitted it himself on again one of these random little I guess little interview things that he's been doing around town in Hollywood. And they've been saying a lot of he's been using these random graphs he's been finding. I feel like he's just been taking pictures of things that he's been finding, and just kind of seeing where he's going from there. Just trying to play the ball as hard as he can. I think he's still trying to stick to his guns and just trying to give the people a little bit of what he wants, but sticking to his beliefs. And it's really biting him in the ass, and he's got to completely cut this out, and just go up and straight up apologize for everything that's going on. Try to do a full movement back towards it, and stop trying to be this social justice worker out there that thinks he's fighting for God at every moment as a so-called vessel. That's my take on it.
All right. Okay, so the thing is that this is just it's just hilarious. Okay, let's look at the funny side of this shit, because he's just been saying some really outlandish shit, and then he's just been going crazy on social media,
and people have been reacting bad.
Yeah, he's getting a reaction. The reaction is warranting him to lose everything that he's worked for, right? So now, and you got to tread lightly, because what he should have done, for people that watch podcasts and shit, I would say if you want a really constructive conversation with Kanye and to see how he really thinks and what he really feels, Lex Friedman provides that. I was listening to a little bit before when I was working earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to say that you could go listen to Lex Friedman. He provides pushback. Kanye makes more concise points, and he's very careful in how he speaks. But my thing is deplatforming for speaking your mind and not inciting violence, and just with words. We leave it at base words. Once you start inciting violence, and that's you're inciting action. When we're leaving it at words, I think we should tread lightly as a society.
I agree. I don't disagree with that point. It's just the fact that people don't want that image attached to them, and that's what the issue is here. Nobody wants these radical images that they have to worry about every other day. That's why he's losing this all, because nobody has either the patience, or the resources, I guess, to have him under him, have him under them. Excuse me.
All right, let's take this off Kanye. Let's look at somebody like Andrew Tate.
Okay.
Right? He was deplatformed. He was canceled for supposed misogynistic views and actions. Right. There was this video going around of him consensually not beating a girl, but consensually just aggressive with her. But it looks wrong, right? My thing is that we're canceling all these people, but it gives more suspicion to the they. You know how conspiracy theories always talk about they this, say that.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew is somebody who spoke up for masculinity, right? And a lot of the things he says are not toxic, are just basic logical points that some people are emotionally ingesting and reacting to. And sometimes the truth hurts. So let's say a girl that Andrew might be speaking of, he might not be speaking directly to her, but he might be speaking things about her that are truth you're going to emotionally react and say that's misogynistic. Misogynistic should not be a word thrown around. And misogynistic is just like rapist, abuser, it's these label words that people use to create to shame you and shut you down and shut down your point. And now you got to look at society. What you look at Kanye wanting to be a father. You look at Andrew Tate's providing young adults, with a little bit of satire, with a little bit of hyperbolic statements. He's also providing some guidance for young people. Like if you filter out what he says and then you get into the details of what he's trying to say, you could kind of make a concise opinion of your own, because you see that he's just trying to ignite masculinity in a very feminine society, right?
Yeah,
so you got to look at all these masculine people being canceled for what they are saying and not their actions. That's all I'm going to say on that, because I don't want to get JFK'd, but just look at the attack on men. Look at modern day society and tell me there is not a spiritual warfare going on. I think everything that we're talking about is way deeper than Kanye being anti-Semitic. It's way deeper than Andrew Tate being a misogynist. I think there is a low vibrational war on masculine energy, and we'll see. I could be wrong, but we'll see over time, because I also see I'll use myself as an example. I also saw myself tapping into a very feminine side, something that was detrimental, that was very downbringing to who I was as a person, made me lose myself. Once I stepped more into like a masculine role, I felt more confident. I felt like I feel like I could take on the world, and I started basing my logic. I stopped basing my logic on emotion and just base my logic on facts, and logic and critical thinking. You feel me? And I think people's minds is what's being fought for. And if you divide and conquer, if you divide, then you can conquer the people. And I think that's where we're at, gentlemen. And the more we can come together as a society, the less it'll be hard for us to conquer. Damn, that was so serious. And now we're going to keep on getting serious. God dang it.
Well, look, as far as I'm concerned, I agree with you on the Andrew Tate part of things. Yes, we are in a very feminist or woman-sided society where men nowadays have more of a softer mindset and very, very laid back about like not speaking their minds. Everyone should have that kind of energy to kind of bring back. But that being, at the end of the day, we think back to like what was it, 1800s, right? Like when women used to stay at home and then the guy would always go to work. It was the man's job always to do that. It was always the man to do that.
That was up to like even 1900s, bro. Like even the last 100 years.
Yeah, to the 40s. Yeah,
okay. It's more like I wouldn't say the last half a century that things started changing.
Mm-hmm. So this is where I'm getting at too. Like, yes, men are very sensitive nowadays. Weak, even if you have to really say it. It's just that whole aspect that you have to watch yourself shouldn't be. It should be a sense of just like, hey, I have to tell you something. Something needs to happen, and we need to discuss it. And it's that more childish mindset that most people have nowadays is why things don't work out as easily as they should. And that's something I feel like a lot of people need to work on. I know I got to work on that shit, because I know that I'm very abrupt when I do things, and I have to maybe be a little bit more laid back on some things. But until I see someone more of like at that equal value kind of level, I feel like I don't have to, as far as I'm concerned. But as a whole thing to Kanye, I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel like the minute you start talking about race, that's a whole other kind of like ball game on its own. And plus, talking about knowing someone's struggles when you haven't lost anybody like that, I think he shouldn't be speaking outright like that, personally.
Yeah, and I think he's using he uses the black community a lot when it's advantageous to him. And
Yes,
God, yeah. And then
it's
that's what
ridiculous.
throws me off about Kanye. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to be on his side. It's hard to be his fan. I will always go support his music. I love his music and
Well,
everything.
again, you can always support an artist, but you don't can't support the actions the
Yeah,
artist does.
yeah, you have to separate the art from the artist. So
Exactly.
yeah, I get you on that. I get you on that.
Are you kidding me?
Before we move on,
I'm a young. Last thing. Sorry, I just wanted to say I've been a.
go
I
ahead.
love the Kanye's early stuff, you know, and he was always an inspiration. I felt like in his early days. I just feel like he's fallen off the beaten path, and we should really like, you know, I guess let him spout his shit. Maybe something real might come out of this. Who knows? Because I'm hoping you're right, bro. Honestly.
And I just want to paint a picture for the people listening, right? I'm just gonna I'm gonna put my conspiracy theorist like hat on real quick. I'm just gonna throw a thing out there, right? I said the last
Tinfoil
50
hats.
year right? Yeah, tinfoil hat. That's what I'm putting on right now. It's the Hershey's Kiss from like Scary Movie 3.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just gonna say these things, like these words, and then we'll move on to the next thing, right? Right? Attack on masculinity. Who goes to war? It's usually the men, right? We are the top. The United States has been the top dominant country, and we outsource products and things like that, right? We all know that not only do we have spies, but there are spies all over the world, right? And infiltration is a thing. And there's this famous quote that a society doesn't fall till it's infiltrated from within. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And let's move on to the next thing. So now we're still on a serious subject, unfortunately, but I don't know. Hopefully, we can find something funny out of this shit, or something hooligan out of this shit. Oh, Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? And he bought it for like I believe it was like 40 billion, 44 billion, some around that price range. And he went ahead and entered the building with a sink, right? And he said, "I bought Twitter. Let that sink in," or some shit like that.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
That's why I love Elon, bro. I love
Elon
him
is
for
such
that.
a troll.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a troll. He's so funny. He's such a he's such an internet baby. He loves memes and shit. So that was funny. That was hilarious.
My boy
Well,
said,
what do
"Let
you
that
guys
sink
think
in."
about Elon buying Twitter? Elon bought Twitter, and now it's a privatized company, I believe. So there's no more ads. It won't be making money off of ads. So I believe there was a rumor today that uh, the people that are verified, which means they have the blue check mark, would have to pay. That would be subscription based. So you would have to pay a certain amount to have that blue check mark on you now, because now that that it's privatized and no more ads, you got to find a way to make that revenue. So what do you guys think about Elon buying Twitter and all this freedom of speech shit? And now people could say the N-word with the hard R. People could be anti-Semitic. People could be white supremacists. People, all this shit. And now, but there's going to be more room for public discourse and intelligent opinions and intellectual debate. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I look at it as a coin that we just been received, and there's two sides of it, so we could look at it on like you were saying. There's the unconstructive arguments, your typical Modern Warfare 2 lobby chats. Now it's gonna be just typed out, right? There's that side, but then there is the intellectual context now that we actually could get from this, because I'm personally for having this being approved, that we're allowed to speak our minds freely, regardless of who's here to watch. It's like a comedian. Like, you don't like it, get out, man. Like, this is not your page. Just go to someone else that you follow. Like, it's not. No. This could be your business, but it really isn't. And at the same time, it's also not surprising to me that Elon finally bought it, just due to the fact that the man always had an influence in the internet in some sort of type of way. I mean, this is the same guy that created PayPal. So, for him to go to PayPal, to Twitter, and then I think I saw him and Mr. Beast talk about trying to bring back Vine. So, Maybe this could be like
Yeah,
the
I saw
start
that
of
too.
like, bringing that back. So if it is, I'm all for it, to be honest. Like I really enjoyed Vine. I don't know why like it died on us so quickly.
Instagram.
Yeah, obviously I know it's Instagram, but like it could always
It could
evolve to
always
something
coexist.
beyond. Coexist, evolve, however the route could have been open. Like there was something there that nobody looked at. I think Elon could finally see that.
Yeah, and having that Vine thing on a Twitter platform would be great because it's not like Instagram. It's a 6, 7 second content where where it forces you to be funny or it forces you to be creative for that a short amount of time, which is different for what Instagram and with the Reels and YouTube Shorts. So I see that. I see that. Um, Raj, what do you think?
Well, I'm for it. I think we've been needing a platform to be absolutely 100% unrestricted. I think the fact that they're going to start charging the content creators for the check mark is kind of a little bit easier than having just a bunch of ads clutter Twitter. Only because if somebody is really going out there, it sucks to start because so a lot of people who start off this stuff normally we're all 9 to 5 workers at the end of the day. We're all trying to make our money. We got to grind out things, and that adds another expense. But for the people who made it already, I mean, what kind of pennies are those in comparison? It just that part kind of sucks, I guess.
No, well, the subscription base is only for the people I think who have the followers to be verified, and they got to pay the subscription to be verified.
Oh,
but I think Twitter
okay,
for the
so my
most part is still
misunderstanding
going to
was
be
that.
free.
Oh,
No,
okay,
you're good. You're good.
Okay, so my misunderstanding was different. Okay, all right. So then my opinion on that is, I mean, yeah, you want to pay for the content. I mean, yeah, fuck it. I mean, that it gives it a choice. I think.
I got a question
that's
for you
still pretty
guys.
good.
Do you think? All right, I'm gonna make it funny. Trust me. I'll make it funny. But just on one more. Do you think Elon's gonna do anything with Dogecoin? Do you think the price is gonna go up? Do you think anything's gonna happen with that?
I'm gonna go ahead
Because it has risen like 5% in the last week.
I mean, who knows? Maybe there's been some information we're not aware of right now. I mean,
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of tweets and shit.
I'm hoping that it's gonna eventually become some kind of currency that we could use. So I feel like you're gonna invest all this time and effort and money into like trying to swap out, and then what is it called? I always forget the app that's called Robinhood or whatever the other apps that you use to swap all this currency around. They should give a use for it instead of like just making it a flop. So like there's a little bit more value behind it. And I feel like once that happens, there'll be a lot more things coming more into flourishing. Because didn't he mention he was going to do something with that? Like he was trying to like make it an official currency to be used.
Yeah, there was something along those lines. I don't quite remember though. I don't have the information.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, my boys. Something. You know what I really like. You know what I really don't like about Twitter, or any social media for that matter, is you freaking woketivists. You woketivists, bro. It's people arguing for the sake of arguing on social media just so they could feel they did something, bro. Like, and I'm not even gonna lie. I used to be that person. I used to give my thoughts and opinions and give my political takes, and then at some point it was so draining and frustrating, and I realized that my emotions were being like fucking like played with. My emotions were just I felt like every time this shit would flood my algorithm, like it would just be to like target my emotions and make me react. And once I started stepping away from my emotions, I started thinking more logically. They can't get a reaction out of me, right? And so I just be going on Twitter, like they some shit about Justin Trudeau, or is that his name? The fucking Prime Minister of Canada. He was doing some shit, and I called him damn. I was like, damn, what a dictator. And then somebody like responded to me and was like, was like, "What? A dictator? Do you even know what a dictatorship is?" And I was like, "Oh my God." I just did that like as a social experiment because I never know if I'm arguing with bots like or like spies that are just trying to infiltrate our social network or what the fuck. It's like it's so weird because everybody just wants to be this fucking like, and I feel like especially in Western society we're so comfortable, everybody wants to find an internal struggle. Yeah, exactly. And somebody wants to find an internal struggle and fight for something because there is no struggle that people are going, or there's no actual real struggle that people are going through themselves. So everybody just wants to find a reason to be argumentative and debated. You feel me? And debative. So like, fuck you, woketivists. Like, take a chill pill, everybody. Relax. Like, what do you have you guys ever came across like people who just argue and just want to give like their political opinion like on fucking line?
Yeah,
all the time.
but the
Isn't
best
that
part
shit
is when you
annoying?
school them. It is so annoying, but it's when you start like using their logic and their format. Is that when you start losing? Like the saying goes, if you argue with an idiot, you will lose because you just go down to their logic. But if you keep yourself in a demeanor and you get them to get at your level, that's when they start realizing like, oh, why am I even arguing this in the first place? So yeah, man, it's definitely gets to a point where it's so draining, like you were saying. It gets very frustrating because you're just piling on an opinion to someone that really doesn't really view it the same way as you do, but now you're trying to force them to view it on your way, which, like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Like stop imposing your values and your ideas or your ideals on other people. Like if they're not hurting you or acting violent against you, what the fuck? What is
Yeah.
how another person thinks? What the fuck does that have to do with you?
I don't know, bro. I just
ahead,
feel
Raj.
like when people are like all so because again I run into it a lot because work in retail, I'm on a register,
Oh,
and
shit,
then
yeah.
somebody's talking
Oh,
about
yes.
shit out of
Oh,
nowhere,
yeah.
and then they're like the next person online, and then they come over and then they just drop the whole. Can you believe that guy? Do you think so? And I was just like, oh, honey, you don't want my opinion. You don't want me to speak my mind to you. I'm good, but thank you. No, oh no. I really don't want to speak. Oh, you're gonna keep going. Okay, hold on. And then I'm just sitting there trying to hurry the fuck up and just finish up what I'm doing so they can just get the fuck out of here. Because I'm sorry, I'm not here to deal with no Karens, no Kevins, whatever the fuck the male version of them are. I ain't here to be with no close-minded
It's
people.
Kyle's. It's Kyle's.
Kyle's, whatever the
What
fuck.
do you mean Kevin's?
Kevin's, Kyle's, whatever the fuck they're called, bro.
Nah,
Whatever-
he's just
whatever
having
it
a
is
better
nowadays.
with me today. Trust me.
Oh, is that what you think? Oh man, here we go. See, sensitive mindset. The early men. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. First he doesn't let me
I'm
talk.
sorry, Papa.
Now he's talking shit about my name. You
Yo,
know,
hey, what's good, Raj? Yeah, what's good, Raj?
That's what I'm saying. He has a vendetta against me today. I know it. I didn't
You know, you guys picked
just
on
trying
me
to cover
the
it
past 3 pods. I'm mad as fuck.
up. Hey, my ability of able to watch shows and your ability not to has nothing to do with me.
Oh shit. Or your ability to remember a movie. Fuck, I had to. I'm sorry. Fuck, Roger. I'm so
That's
sorry.
it. Both of you in the ring right now. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm throwing down. It's on.
All right, everyone's getting on gang beast. Imagine.
Yeah, Gang Beast is how we settle this shit.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
hold
about.
on. I'm gonna go on a side rant real quick because, like, I got questioned if I was misogynistic or not, and it happened. I'm already getting like locally canceled, and it was like because of the woman shit that we
what?
spoke about.
Are you serious?
So I just want to give like my response to that, right? I love women, right? I love my mom dearly. I love my aunts. I love my cousins. I think women are fantastic. I have amazing sisters. From my older sisters to my little ones. I love them. I love them so much. They are great women, right? And I've came across some great women in my life as well. In my life as well. You know, most of the time when me and other women didn't work out, I take full responsibility. I was immature. I was stupid. I was too uh, I was too financially unstable, too emotionally unstable, and I wasn't just fit to be in a relationship, right? But then I started getting out into the dating world after my last girlfriend or whatever. I started getting out into the dating world, and I started forming some opinions, and I just want to say, if like my family members or if anybody or any woman listening, or that I'm close with feel offended, it's not you, right? My opinions are based on you new bitches. You new bitches. I'm so tired of you entitled new bitches. Is really what I'm entitled. I'm so fucking tired of. I'm so tired of you new bitches, for real. You new bitches that say, "Oh, I deserve a man who's this and that and that," and not imposing those fucking standards on yourself. It's you new bitches with the audacity to talk to other men like you run the world. You don't run the world, bitch. You just got a bunch of other friends that enable you to act like you do, bitch. It's you new bitches I got a problem with. But that's it. But all the other women, I apologize.
But that's
I
it.
really love you.
Yes! I didn't have to do it this podcast. Let's go!
I just wanted to, I just want to let that out. That felt really good. I feel like a weight is off my shoulders. I've been wanting to say that for a minute.
Nah, I really beat these entitled bitches, bro. I swear to God, man. You're not wrong in that statement, man.
Jay, I couldn't have said it better myself. Yo, that was fucking beautiful. Yo, honestly, I want to piggyback off that just a little bit, just a bit. We are a lot of guys out there. There's a lot of good guys out there. Don't get me wrong. There's bad guys out there too. But
a lot of shitty guys for sure. A lot of shitty men. Not even guys, but a lot of shitty men, like grown ass men. But go on, Raj.
Yeah, we're not all the girls aren't all at fault. The guys have a little bit to blame too. But it's like, when you think you own everything, and you've got this stuck up attitude just because you got a fat ass and some nice pair of titties, like, bro, calm your ass down. Every girl can fucking.
Yeah, you only look good for now, bitch. I'm sorry.
See, Jay said he only look good for now. Who knows? You let yourself go, you get too comfortable. Guess what, bitch? You're gonna gain a whole belly, and then everything gonna sag out, and then you're gonna be done. And what do you got left? You got nothing left to give. Work on your values. Work on giving shit to people. Work on fucking making yourself more valuable in life.
Gunshot.
Learn how to cook. I know a lot of bitches. You know what's sad? I know a lot of bitches nowadays that don't know how to cook.
Yeah,
all right, dude, I know how to cook. Are you kidding me?
Stop calling women bitches. But the bitches love it. Hey!
Like, come on, dude. Like, it's really sad when you become the chef of the group. Like that. That's really bad. Like, you should just be able to take the load off of each other instead of just being the one-sided thing. Like, I don't think girls should be the only one cooking. In my opinion, I feel like that should be something you bring to the table on top of everything else you bring. And then also on top of just having like a sharp mindset, elevated mindset, if you will. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, not both sides, by the way, I'm talking about. Both sides are very, very ignorant. Like, ignorant to the point that they're in their own cloud half the time, and they just don't fucking realize what's happening in front of them. Like, they're always looking up into the sky, and like they're waiting for some magical image to pop up that goes, "This is what you're gonna do." Yo, people, wake the fuck up. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Life's passing you by. Wake up.
I also want to say, men, we also have to take accountability for how these women are acting. Y'all are some like, this is the generation of the most fucking simps I've ever seen. But I feel you got to go through your simp phase to get into your pimp phase. I just came up with that. I don't know how I did it. Guys. I think I might still be a rapper.
Go from simp to pimp. That's the phrase.
But
don't call me a rapper.
But
yet.
Yeah, I also want to end this with, by the way, girls, we're the fucking prize. Not you. There's more of you than us. And the more and the less of us that get our value higher, like the less options you're going to have because you're going to want a high value man. So at the end of the day, girls, women, you know that we're the prize. So stop playing. But men, take accountability for your actions. Fucking man up. I'm tired of you fucking emotional ass men. You know, ever since Drake came along, this motherfucker started being emotional. Ever since Kanye did 808 and Heartbreaks, like it's good to be tuned in with your emotions, but not to react or think with them. You feel me? You got to know when you're feeling sad. You got to know when you're feeling angry. You got to know when you're feeling happy. You know, it's good to differentiate and be in tune with these emotions, because then you could tap into your logical state of mind, right? But at the end of the day, we're the prize, woman, not you. There's a lot more than you than there are us. That's not a stunt. It's like we're the Yeezys and you're Skechers. So like step up, become a Balenciaga or something. But yeah, that's enough on that. Kevin, you want to say something? My bad. Me and Roger just got our shit off.
We went off. My bad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you guys just sound like a bunch of frustrated men right now. Y'all gotta calm down. Nah, but I feel you guys. Not 100%. Nah. But I see it. No, I agree with you guys. Though. It's 100% that. 1000% that. You see that? No wonder.
Oh man, we're rebranding. We're going from 100 to 1,000.
I love it.
Nah, but I agree with you guys on the strong points of us taking accountability, because I feel like the reason why women act the way they do is because we're not stepping into the role that we've been for the past couple of years. Like, I feel like only in this past
Centuries.
20 years.
Millenniums.
Yeah, but I feel like it's only been this past 20 where all of this has been changing, and I feel like it's due to a lot of our environment. Like, we're no longer in the same jungle, quote unquote, that we're surviving. We're surviving a whole different jungle, and comes with new struggles. Like, I'm seeing a lot of comfortability I feel like it's enabling a lot of this bullshit.
Yep.
Like, if you're too comfortable as a man, you're not gonna check on your woman, and if your woman is getting checked on, she's gonna check you, and then it's just a constant like vicious cycle of like not fulfilling roles where it needs to be.
Yeah,
it is a lot of enabling, yeah, man. Because like, for example, I had a customer like talking to me about, oh, I'm not good with technology, and I'm like, well, miss, I feel like that's self-imposed. And then she looks at me with a surprised face, and I was like, what do you mean? And I could understand that I came off like a dick saying that. But at the same time, there's a point to that. It is very self-imposed. Because if everyone thought the same way that this woman did, we would still be using sticks, bones, firewood just to cook all our meals. But no, we had an advancement of technology, so we had to learn new skills, adapt ourselves to new situations. And I feel like technology is taking so much from that we're no longer developing up ourselves or stimulating these senses that should be on a constant. Like, I'm just speaking from personal experience that just fasts. But when I'm not eating and I'm starving for my next meal, all my senses are heightened to a point where I'm like, why am I more focused? Why is like everything I smell more intense? Why can I literally smell water? Like, what's going on here? And I'm like, oh no, these are all survival instincts that were forgotten.
Yep.
That my body's going back to its original DNA, where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm enabling old things that keep me survival instincts alive.
Keep yourself uncomfortable.
Exactly, yeah. And then once you do that, you in a sense, you're fulfilling yourself a role as a man of taking responsibility, being in an uncomfortable position, and trying to make the best out of it, regardless of where you're at.
And regardless of your emotions.
Yeah, I mean, of course, but that's the thing. And I feel like handling your emotions comes from having a father figure who was able to help you channel that properly. Since we have this whole attack on masculinity being on us, we're no longer able to properly instill fatherhood figures into children. Like, me personally speaking, I had my dad around, and he was not the best father, but he did everything he can as a father that he thought that I needed to be instilled in me. And now I hold this sense of responsibility because of him. I don't think without him, I can move the way I move because of today. While I see other people, they're just like, they don't have this sense of urgency to go do something or to make something out of themselves because there was nobody to instill that into them. So I just feel like we're right now in an off balance of our roles, and we need to go back into an origin of our DNA and bring out who we were.
Yep. Yep. And be the best versions of ourselves, both men and women. Yeah, bro. I agree with you on that. 100%. Oh shit! I'm starting to do it now.
Here we go.
Oh no, devil's
100%
advocate.
check, baby. Let's get it. I'm the conductor, and we moving forward with this.
All right. Before we get to the fight, I want to tell you guys a funny story, right? Because when I was hanging out with Leo, you know, my brother-in-law, for those of you that don't know, I was hanging out with Leo, right? And we were just hanging out outside on the backyard, and then all of a sudden, I saw some wild rats, right? And that shit reminded me of like when we used to fucking, you know, Kev, we had the mouse problem in Jersey. Jersey's like just a mouse problem everywhere. Like I had a mouse problem back in my old crib, like, you know, and I was telling Leo this story, right? About, well, okay, let me preface this. PETA, this was a 9-year-old version of me with another adult, with another young adult, right? I just want to preface that. So basically, we had caught a mouse, and unfortunately, for some reason, we decided it was caught in a glue trap, and the whole body was fucking just stuck on it, right? You know, you can't salvage a mouse from that, right? You know that, guys, right? Have you guys ever even tried to peel it out, like if you could?
I've watched
or you
somebody
just
do
fucking
it.
throw that shit out? You just throw that shit out?
No, I watched somebody do it.
Straight up.
I would throw it out, but I watched somebody do it though, and that's not a fun scene.
Yeah, so it was stuck. So then this guy, I'm not gonna mention his name. I'm not gonna put some dirt. But this guy was like, "Hey, let's burn it." I'm like, "Well, my fucking sick ass 9-year-old mind was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it." And then that was the first time like I ever saw something die, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And it was fucking squealing, right? And I say all of this to say, because it was like, now that I think about it, it was kind of traumatizing. I say all this to say that years later, Kev, when we had the mouse problem, when I was living in Dad's basement, or when I was living in the basement, right? We had the little mice here and there. You remember that, Kev, when we had it? All right. So one time, it was one of those times where Dad had gone out of town, right? And you know, and when Dad would go out of town, you know how we would smoke freely in the living room area, right? So I was smoking freely in the living room area, just fucking vibing, right? And I was like on the couch or something, and all I heard was like little like squeaks and like through my headphones, because I had my headphones on, I heard little squeaks. I was like, what the fuck? Am I hearing shit? So I take my headphones on and I check under the couch, and it's like this little baby mouse, right? All right, so this is, I don't burn him. I mean, I kind of burned him, but not in the way you guys think. I fried his ass, but not. Yo, it's funny. I went from frying a mouse to frying a mouse differently, right? So I was like, oh, damn, little guy. Like, this sucks for you, man. Like, I can't imagine what it must be to, like, be you. So I take this fucking Chinese carton, and I place it over the mouse trap. And then I start smoking like a fucking Jay. And I start hotboxing the mouse.
What the fuck, Jay?
What? Come on, bro. Isn't this the most humane thing that you could do? Like, I was fucking hotboxing the shit out of the little guy, and the little guy went from breathing so hard and trying to get out that, bro, he just went to calm and relax afterwards, and then I just threw that shit out. But I took him out with a bang. So I say all that to say that I went from frying a mouse to frying a mouse. You feel me? But yeah, that's just a funny anecdote because I was just seeing the rats around Leo's crib and all that shit, and I was like, wow, I hadn't seen a wild rat in a minute. And these are like Florida rats, so they were climbing trees and shit. It was wild, bro. I'd never seen some shit like that.
Make them sound like squirrels, bro. I swear.
No, they were with like long fucking rodent ass tails. All right.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like they sound like squirrels. That's what it sounds like.
But now, guys, did you guys hear what happened this weekend? The main event.
Oh, I've
Yes,
heard
sir.
of it. Did not get a chance to watch it.
All right, I'll break it
Enlighten.
down a little bit for you guys. Yes, sir. So Jake Paul fought Anderson Silva, right? I believe we gave our predictions, or we gave our opinions or predictions like last pod, I believe.
hmm
And
Yeah.
I thought that Jake Paul was going to win, right? But he did. But and he, the round started off with Jake Paul keeping himself acting, keeping himself active, keeping Silva at a distance, and putting the pressure on him. And then eventually the rounds were arguable. They were pretty close. Some Jake Paul, some Anderson Silva. But at the end, at the eighth round, guys, just at the beginning, bro. Soon as eighth round started, Jake Paul was hitting these. He was hitting this movement, and he caught him with a right and knocked Anderson Silva down. And ultimately, the fight ended up going to Jake Paul, right? Now, before I get your guys' takes on this, because I just explained it to you, that's it, Jake Paul. You can't fight any more MMA fighters. At this point, it's becoming a money grab, and it's becoming a thing where that MMA fighters have bad habits that they've picked up in MMA that they can't get rid of because they've been in MMA so long. So Jake Paul, what he does is capitalize on these MMA faults and holes in their game and just wants to make a spectacle out of them. And because he's fighting names more than he's fighting skill, it amplifies his name or what he's doing more than it actually is. So if you break down what he actually did, was he fought a 47-year-old veteran, a combat veteran, Anderson Silva. And I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping that Anderson would show something, but at the end of the day, he fought an almost 50-year-old man that was in MMA for most of his career. And Jake Paul is a young 25-year-old who's been boxing for the last 4, right? And I feel like ultimately he's going to have to go against somebody on his caliber at his age, and somebody that could give him a challenge, because just picking on these MMA people, it's getting tired out already. Like, I'm even tired of it. Like, you already beat the GOAT Anderson Silva. I do not want to see him fight Nate Diaz. I do not want to see him fight Conor McGregor. At best, like, I'll take Canelo, but I don't even want to see him fight Canelo. One, because I don't want Canelo to even like entertain the influencer boxing thing, and 2, because it's just such a vast weight difference, and it's an age difference as well. Canelo is getting, I think he's still at his prime, but he's definitely on the latter end of his career, right? He's like 35 or 30 something, right? So like Jake Paul, that shit is getting tired. Go fight some boxers. Go fight some boxer influencers. KSI, maybe Slim, maybe a Nissan Gibb, maybe Deji. The rematch with 2 of them, either Gibb or Deji, whoever. But fight somebody that's in the same level as you. Just that MMA shit is getting tired out. But what do you guys think?
I'm pretty much upset that
The Silva
Jake
lost?
won, of course. Yeah. I mean, I wanted Silva to show the world that regardless of age, it's always experience, and that's what I said in the last podcast. So I was pretty upset hearing that just now, and also reading up on it the minute the results came out. But later, the way you described it just now kind of explains everything in a nutshell. Like, yeah, age, father time, it gets us all, regardless of how great you are or how much of a veteran you are in the sport. But you do bring out a solid point about the MMA fighters, and yeah, they do go in with a completely different mindset compared to boxing. So yeah, it would be nice to see like a boxer with a boxer going both at it, and both at a physique and skill that are similar, to really test his skill out. Like, who knows? We don't know if Jake is really good or not. From the opponents he's choosing, we could say he's great, but we pulled someone in the same caliber as him. Can he prove it?
Exactly.
And every time a boxer was there to be challenged, like, there was always something. Like, to this day, I'm still like upset that I forgot the name of the fighter. It was literally on top of my head.
Tommy Fury?
Tommy Fury, thank you. Yeah. Fury's son, like, oh my God.
Fury's younger brother. Younger brother.
Younger brother, sorry. Thank you for the correction. Like, literally pulled out as they're about to do it. Hey, yo.
Okay.
No, as
Demonetized
they're
once,
about
now
to do it is crazy.
God.
As they're about to do it is crazy. But no, yeah, you got a point, brother. You make up a good point. You bring up a good point because the two boxers that he was supposed to fight, there was always a problem with. Like, and then the narrative, yeah, that's another thing. Thank you for bringing that up. My bad, bro. I'm taking over, but not willingly, because I'm gonna forget.
Go ahead, by all means.
Because that makes a good point. Because now him and his brother Logan Paul are building that narrative that these boxers backed out, right? Oh, that they're scared of Jake. They're scared of Jake. I don't think these boxers, like, if they're really about what they're really about, if that's their craftsmanship, if that's what they bring to the table, I don't think these guys are scared of Jake. You feel me? I just think that Jake was making this a spectacle, so you would see that he was down to fight boxers, but ultimately just ended up finding a way to make it seem like they backed out. You feel me? With Tommy Fury, it was the visa thing, like the visa thing. Like, for example, he was willing to fight KSI in England, but not Tommy Fury. So what does that tell you? With the Hasim Rahman Jr. thing, he gave him a month to drop like 20 pounds, and he was on goal to do that, but somewhere along the lines they weighed him, and he was at a stagnant weight and everything. So now they made it seem like Hasim backed out. And I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. If that's indeed what happened, then all props to Jake. He tried to fight some boxers, right? But you just don't revert back to fighting MMA fighters and making that fight happen after you try to fight two boxers. No, you continue to fight a boxer. And that narrative that these guys backed out, that both him and Jake and Logan are spewing, it makes it seem like they're building that narrative, as opposed to just saying how it is, that he's scared to fight real boxers. And that doesn't take away the respect that people should have for Jake, because he has like gained skills, he has gotten better over time, like, and he did fight a legend and he beat him up, but it's a 47-year-old MMA legend. It's just, he said, like, Jake Paul said this quote. He was like, "Oh, if I walk on water, they're gonna hate, or it's like they're gonna say I can't swim." Right? Well, fighting a 47-year-old MMA veteran is not walking on water. That's barely beating Michael Phelps in a swimming contest. Like, that's nothing close to it. You just fought an old dude who gave you a run for your money. It's not like you dominated him. He gave you a run for your money. So it pokes holes in this whole image that Jake is trying to portray. You feel me? Because if a 47-year-old MMA veteran was giving you that hard of a time, then what the fuck is a real boxer with clout? What is he gonna do to you when he steps up to you? You know. But Raj, you got something for me?
Bro, look, I hate hearing that nearly retired or at the end of an era fighter as a whole fights a young guy who isn't even officially in the ring. That type of content pisses me off. I want to see young guy versus young guy, veteran versus veteran, because even playing field means everything. Because as far as I'm concerned, Jake Paul hasn't proven that much, in my opinion. For just from these fights, yeah, he's proven he can keep up in the sport, but can he keep up in his division? Is the real question. Can he keep up with someone who's his weight, his skill level, or not even his skill level, way beyond his skill level with that experience? Dude, I think he would get clapped easily 2 rounds in by a professional his age. Done deal. Just like that. I'm so sad for Silva because he is literally an MMA legend. Fucking legend. And this guy put up an 8-round fight with this kid. So it goes to show that even though Father Time's coming to you, he can still keep up. He put up a damn good fight if he put up 8 rounds with this guy. And again, no one ever said it was one-sided. It was back and forth. So the fact that was even there, it's like, it just frustrates me, man. It gets me like furious hearing like this kind of content. And the fact that he thinks he's so big and above everything on that is just, it's just not good. I personally hate it.
Yeah, I think what I personally have trouble with is him making his wins more grandiose than they actually are. You feel
Exactly.
me? And it's just yeah, like you said, Raj, it's just the image that he's portraying is not. I think I'll give him my full like respect and admiration and shit when he fights an actual boxer. At this point, it has to be an actual boxer. Like it can no longer be MMA fighters. Like
It's got to be someone in the middle of their career.
I think that's tired out. Yeah, and somebody in the middle of their career with clout, with something. You know,
yeah.
Just there's a bunch of options out there. I'm just saying he could make it happen. But yeah, hey, by the way, people listening, hey. If you download this podcast and if you turn us into an influencers like within the next 2-3 years, I'll fuck them up myself. Hopefully, God willing. But let's move on.
promote Jay Gonzalez.
I love to see
Jesus
that
Gonzalez.
happen in real time.
Yo, Jay, I'll be right there with you. If you don't, I will.
Be like a Rocky movie, to be honest.
Ooh.
I just want to go the distance. Nah, fuck going the distance. I want to fucking put my fucking fist distancing all through his fucking face. That's what I want to do. But you know, as a fighter, you feel me? Not like I have a personal vendetta against him, because I respect the guy. You know, like one thing you got to give the guy is that he puts in work, and he's he's in peak physique shape, and you gotta respect that. You know, you keep like. All in all, if he didn't put in the work, he would have lost that fight. So you got to respect that.
He's a little childish, but he's technically a man's man. Technically,
I mean, yeah, he's a problem child. He's a problem man child. All right, my boys. Raj, you told us earlier that something about George Lopez.
Oh,
tell me
well,
about
yeah.
that.
So I caught wind of this. I don't have a huge amount of detail on it, but apparently George Lopez coming back to entertainment, bro. If you want to catch him for free, I heard Peacock is going to be producing his new show known as Lopez versus Lopez. He's actually bringing in his real daughter to bring in a new live TV show. Now, personally, me,
is it a new live TV show, or is it
no, it's not a
sitcom?
continuation. It's a sitcom. It's a sitcom. It's a new sitcom.
Okay.
So,
So
so my thing is, I loved George Lopez as a kid. Kevin, and I know Kevin did too. Jay, did you watch a lot of George Lopez?
Oh hell yeah, bro.
Okay,
Bro, if you didn't fall asleep and had George Lopez playing on Nickelodeon at 3 a.m. in the morning, did you really have a fucking childhood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
now you waking
I don't
up
know,
to
bro.
the fucking commercials.
Yeah, no, forget that. I'll be waking up to Lowrider. Din, 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 din,
Yeah,
din.
that was the one.
Yeah, bro. Every single
that was the
fucking
one
time.
I would wake up to. Yeah.
What you call it? I don't know, dude. I love the show originally, and I'm hoping that it has that same flair. I really want to see like my childhood show grow with me and become like my entertainment, like my level of entertainment. That's just like my little thing on it. But yeah, apparently it's gonna view this Friday. So again, it's gonna be on Peacock. So I'm gonna assume it's gonna be a day later. So Saturday. If anyone's willing to watch that, go ahead. By the time probably this podcast is gonna be out, it's probably already gonna be out. So go ahead and check it out on Peacock. Lopez versus Lopez. Man, you think I advertise? You think I have advertisement deal here or something?
Yeah, you
for real.
20K from that shit. Yeah, nah.
Yo, dude, I'm telling you, I love George Lopez. I think he's such a great actor as a whole. Oh man.
Yeah, I agree.
Boys'
with you.
thoughts?
Kev?
Boys' thoughts, opinions, anything about this coming back? Nothing.
Personally, love George Lopez as a kid. Same like you guys. Super excited for to see if we get more of that. Also, like agreeing with Roger as well. Also looking forward to see if it's my level of entertainment because I lean more towards like the Rick and Morty, the Family Guy, American Dad, South Park type of humor. So I enjoy that. But George always had like this core like family side to him that I feel like I appreciated more aside from his comedy. Like those moments when it got really family moments. Like, bro, I think that shaped me a lot as a person. Like just always sticking close to. I know, huh? Even funny, like honestly, like I seen George and Ernie's relationship as the brotherhood between them. Like I feel like me and you share that, Raj.
I'm gonna smack you. I knew you were gonna go with that. Sure. I hate you. Wait, who's Ernie?
But it's true though.
Who Ernie?
I don't give. I'm Ernie. There you go. I'm Ernie. So you don't be Ernie, bro. I don't give a fuck. But it's the brotherhood that I love about that shit.
All right,
I love that shit about that.
I'll never be Ernie.
Man.
I ain't gonna lie, Raj. You fucking Ernie, bro. You fucking Ernie. That's not a bad thing. Ernie had some deep.
But I ain't George either, bro.
No.
Where's my fine bitch? Fuck.
That's true. That's true. What was her name? Angie. Angie was fine.
Oh my god, Angie can get it.
Every time
Angie
George
can get it. Carmen could get it.
Every time George would make her spin around, that was it. I was done. I couldn't stop myself. I skipped a beat every time just watching that ass go bang right out of nowhere.
Nah, facts. She was mad sexy. Yeah, I like how Kevin said Angie could get it. Carmen could
get it.
I was trying to remember what was the step-sibling that they had to take care of in that episode?
Oh, the cousin could get it. Yeah.
The cousin could get it. The niece, there we go, yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, George's niece's inheritance protector. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember?
When it'll happen. Don't worry. Don't think about it.
Doesn't matter. Fuck. Nah. I'm like you. I'm like you, Kev. I'm like you, Kev, because as much as I love George Lopez, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I used to support George Lopez like crazy. I would watch the George Lopez show, the one on Nickelodeon, and I would also watch later on when he transitioned into late night TV. He had Lopez Tonight, and I supported that. I love that because it was like the first time, like, damn, this is a Latino in the late night realm. And unfortunately, I believe it was on TBS, and unfortunately, it only went for like 1 or 2 seasons, and then it stopped.
Something that wasn't Dos Francisco.
Yeah, no, Don Francisco's classic, bro. You can't even put him in the same category.
No, I know. It was just like it was trying to be like that kind of level of like Dos Francisco, because you saw the topics he was going through.
But but I supported him through that, so I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out for this. for sure. But like Kevin said, I got to see if it's up to my palette of entertainment because that has changed over the years. So now I'm more in like I either watch one or two animes and then I'm into like the series shit. I'm into like Breaking Bad. I'm into like House of Dragons currently, Game of Thrones type shit. I'm into, and even then I don't have the time to be watching all these shows. So I don't even watch these shows that I'm naming. You feel me? Like I still got to catch up on Cobra Kai season 5. Like I got to watch a lot of shit, but I don't even have the time for it. So
Her name was Veronica.
I mean,
Sorry.
Oh my God! I told you.
You Googled
I
it.
told you.
No, I didn't. I swear to God, I was just sitting here. I'm like, it's burning in my heart. Oh no!
Oh shit, that was good. Then that was good. Yeah, Veronica can get it.
Veronica. Oh.
All right, Raj. It is Halloween. It's
right. It is Halloween.
Scary hours. It's scary hooligan high. Ooh.
It's spoopy hooligan high.
Ooh. It's spooky getting high. Ooh.
Spooky high.
Bro, I'm just high. What's going on here?
And that's what's spoopy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, I've always kind of liked researching mythological creatures of some kind, and since we are talking about Halloween, Papa did his usual Halloween research, and I've got a little folktale, for everyone who's used to living in Jersey. We all know who the Jersey Devil is.
Oh yeah. I always watch their games every night, bro.
But
Not the New Jersey Devils. Yo, this man. Who is this man's? Anyway.
yeah, the Red Devils, Manchester United.
Oh my lord. Manchester United.
Oh, the Jersey Devil, like
yeah.
the beast.
Oh yeah, I remember that on Monster Quest in the History Channel.
Might as well just say Dragon Quest out of nowhere and just say the Jersey Devil. Call it a day. A little too old for some people to know about that. Anyway, yeah, I mean, so guys, want to hear a real folk tale?
So what we're gonna do here is,
on the campfire.
Since it's Halloween, Raj is gonna introduce a paranormal folktale, scary phenomenon that would go around in Jersey. Kevin will introduce another one, and then I will close out with some real life shit that happened to me. That is actually a worldwide known phenomenon, so I have first-hand experience in this shit. But carry on, Raj. It's scary hours.
So guys, the Jersey Devil, and again, he's not even like a recent day phenomenon. He's been existing for years. And believe it or not, the Jersey Devil started as a woman. The Jersey Devil started apparently back in the 1700s. She would be caught outside. Apparently, like the normal witch cliche, where being around a pot that's on fire, stirring in the middle of nowhere for no reason. Some people stated that she was dabbling with witchcraft of some kind. Apparently, how this continued on was she fell in love with an Irishman that around her town or something, and they had a baby. And then apparently her deformity that she had, because she had some like large bone density disease of some kind that like made her like a little like large armed, and like her arms were like cocked back slightly. So when people would see her shadow, it looked like wings. So people used to freak out because she had the shadow of the devil and then all this other craziness. So there would be in the middle of the night, she'd be stirring the pot and they'd just see this giant shadow that looks like has wings. So they insinuated that with, becoming the folk tale of just the devil at that time. Now, apparently all of this started in southeastern New Jersey, what we know as New Jersey today. Once we got closer into the, I believe it was nearly the 1800s, like somewhere around 1760 or so. She passed. Her son grew up. kind of like had a normal life, and then the baby that they birthed, which that he gave birth to, apparently came out with his mother's deformity. And as she grew up, she was picked on for it, whatever. Later on, there were people who spread more rumors and all this unnecessary controversy. And they found out that, the boy was birthed from the Jersey Devil herself. And his entire family was casted out into into nothing. Just not allowed in any towns. Yeah, on some real shit. Like they literally completely banned them from towns and everything. So they lived in the woods, kind of like Abraham Lincoln style, made a log cabin, fucking made themselves a whole, set up for themselves. And then one night, the little girl was apparently looking at old photos, because apparently they just got the whole setup for their first cameras. So they were doing like photos and stuff, and they had pictures of the grandmother, her grandmother / the original Jersey Devil. And she saw that she looked like her. And so she did this out of spite. And there was a mask festival that happened. And this little girl apparently put on a mask and walked around town in a long white nightgown. And because her arms were already cocked back, they used to see the shadow. And as the shadow would pass by, she purposely would run behind buildings to scare people. So she thought that her grandmother's ghost, quote, quote, was coming back to haunt them. And then there were multiple. I could go on all night about how many multiple ones there are, but we've gone through 3 generations apparently, or 4 generations of the so-called Jersey Devil. Our modern day one that we know, that myth started apparently in 1970, and it was obviously generations down the line of the same lineage. And the one we know now is apparently the descendant of a female woman. I believe her name was Alistair something. And that baby grew up in a really high standard, high density, high end castle somewhere around and all that. And continued the mother's legacy, because they just continued it on from there, because the little girl that I just recently talked about, her mind got very corrupt, so she just passed down that legacy down and down and down until we have the Jersey Devil that we have today.
Wait, is there still a Jersey Devil, Raj?
Yes, technically, apparently still running around to this day. There's apparently sightings and stuff about it, from mid 2000s and such. So I'm assume that it's still running around as we speak. Who knows? It's probably still sitting under the Devil's Bridge that's still over there down in South Jersey. Back to where the original Jersey Devil first was birthed.
I do recall watching ghost hunter videos. The show itself, they had, to this date, I don't know if I haven't researched, but to this day they had the only type of footage recording, because they had a whole episode dedicated to it, where they showed the documentaries, people's stories, a lot of drawings of multiple sightings. But the actual live footage they got was from an heat sensor camera, and it looks like over a deer. You could see from a distance, but the minute you get a close up on it, you could definitely see some deformities that Roger was talking about. So there could still be a Jersey Devil today. I personally could believe it. I personally believe there still is, in a sense. To the degree of how it's been told in the past, who knows? We always have eras of scriptures, art, of animals, creatures that are beyond our beliefs,
comprehension.
Yeah, I mean, both. I mean, think about it. We have aliens and prehistoric hieroglyphics,
saucers and prehistoric. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of things that explain there was more than us out here as Homo sapiens. Like there has to be more creatures out there
Agreed.
that probably could do all the things that Roger was talking about.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, if this creature's still well, that's not even a creature because apparently it's just someone with a very bad deformity. But you know, if the Jersey Devil does exist and it's still out there, I mean, it's doing a really good job about being hidden because obviously, no one's had any really concrete evidence. Through all my digging and trying to like see what's up, nothing. There's like very vague pictures, but everyone describes the Jersey Devil as a very large and tall human being that has these deer-like horns, arms that are very cocked back, and like it has like slightly like a hunchback, and it's got hooves. It's got hooves for feet, but it's not bent backwards. It's bent forward, obviously. So it's like more like a crouched position, like in like the
Humanoid like.
No. The natural stature of what you would expect from an imp from like Lord of the Rings or something.
Okay.
So it's very like it's oddly deformed, which is what the folktale says. So I mean, if this poor thing is out there still, it's probably being well hidden and somehow getting its sustenance because there's no way something like that can be hidden so easily. I don't know, dude. I mean, again, at the end of the day, it's still all folk tales. So,
I mean, this reminds me of like another folktale.
Yeah, what do you got?
Which one?
You guys
Which
ever
one?
heard of
I love that
Mothman?
shit.
Mothman? Ooh.
Vaguely, very vaguely.
I'm very aware of Mothman.
Yeah,
Go,
so
tell me, guys. I love this shit.
is a creature, hence exactly of what you hear from him. It is literally a man that looks like a moth.
A man that looks like a
First
what you
sighting
call
was
off? I'm
in-
sorry. A man that looks like a moth.
A man that looks like a moth, yeah.
Okay.
We got the features of glowing red eyes, having the characteristics of moth-like quills on it. The patterns usually darkish brown, grayish sometimes. And then on top of that, we also have its first sighting being done on November 15th, 1966, with a couple down by Point Pleasant in a TNT bunker that they theorized where it lives. But this is where the first sighting occurred. They were just driving out because I believe the husband was a scientist at the time for the bunker, and they were just picking something up and just leaving the site. And that's when the Mothman, quote unquote, attacked them, abducted them, because they said that the car was levitating, that they saw its claws grip the roof of the car. You know, there was many variations of the story they give, like, you know, who knows what could have happened that night.
On some
But it
Jeepers
basically
Creepers
gave
shit.
off, yeah, basically, yeah. And it gave off the impression, it was like, oh, this is a creature out here to terrorize. But then there's another viewpoint of it, because a year later, like roughly a year later, December 15th, 1967, it was spotted on top of the Silver Bridge that connected Point Pleasant, West Virginia, to Gallipolis, Ohio. It was spotted just flying around, and there was a photograph that's very famous that everybody could Google search right now to look at it, that it just flew around, landed on it, and then an hour later, the whole bridge collapsed.
Oh, no way.
Whoa, wait, really?
Yeah. Resulted
talk?
to 46 deaths. Yeah, real talk. It's all documented on newspapers. This is not made up stories. We actually have documents about this. And resulted in 46 deaths. And so it gave off an impression of like, was it him that caused it? You know, or is he still terrorizing? But I view it from a viewpoint where I believe it was their warning them. Because there's no way you're flying around an area for an hour and then you just disappear and then bam, it just collapsed like that. Like that's like someone warning you, in my opinion. So from that, you know, the whole town of Point Pleasant, they dedicated a bunch of their culture all around Mothman. Like they have a statue dedicated to him They have Mothman Week, where people have festivals for it. You know, it became like a something that they're known for and they celebrate on a daily basis. I mean, correction, on a yearly basis.
It became like a
But-
town
That's
legend
wild.
type shit.
Became a town
Yeah.
mascot.
Basically.
Yeah.
Oh, hail Mothman.
That's their Rocky. That's their Rocky.
Yeah,
Put a
that's a
statue.
Rocky.
It's a sorry ass town if that's your Rocky, a whole Mothman. Hey, but I'm not gonna lie, that statue looks dope. I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, if you think about it, he was strong enough to apparently take out a bridge if he really did take it out.
If you really did, or he was strong enough to foresee a disaster happening and try
Maybe.
to forewarn the people.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows?
Oh shit!
The legend will never be known fully.
Oh shit! Is it my turn, Kev? Or are you?
Yeah, man.
Or are
Go
you still
ahead.
going?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Here we go.
All right. Oh shit! All right. I want to ask you guys before we get started. I want to ask you guys: have you guys like ever like have like personal experience with shit? Like, you know, maybe a
Yes, sir.
ghost type shit. Or
Abnormal activity? I mean, do you want me to tell you a story? I can.
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So,
But like,
this happened. Oh,
no, go ahead. I was gonna say make it quick.
so- all right. Well, long
But
story short.
don't rush it though. Don't rush it.
Oh well. Okay. So, I was hanging out with my friend, old friend Billy's house, and not being ironic, by the way, his name's actually Billy.
I was gonna say,
I
but
was,
I'm not.
yeah, I know. So we were playing Dragon Ball Z, and we're,
Yeah,
fuck you.
Kevin did it.
And we're playing Dragon Ball Z where we're competing or whatever, and we're just going back and forth, whatever. So we get to the point that like his door jiggled a little bit, and we're thinking like, oh, it's his younger brother, because his younger brother is in the next room over. You know, I opened the door because I went to go out some water. I don't see nobody home, and I'm like, hey, did your brother leave? He's like, my mom and my grandma are out, and then we look around the house and like nobody's home. We're like, huh, I guess he's outside or something. And then we look outside, he's not there. So we're like, oh, maybe he just went to his friend's house. You know, close the door and we go back to playing. Next, you know, we hear a really loud bang like on the door, and my buddy for some reason freaks out and he starts grabbing his bed and he just slides it in front of the door and he starts holding him like, yo, what's happening? The lights go out. And he goes like, Roger,
Oh, my
whatever you
fucking
do,
God.
just grab the bed and don't let go. And I was like, wait, what do you mean don't like, okay? And I'm just like holding the door. And when I tell you the room got cold, it was cold. Like it was like summer and it literally turned to winter in the room the next second. And then I'm just holding the bed. I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like panicking. And all I'm seeing is the wood, this cheap ass wooden door jiggling and shaking and going all like wild. No lights are flickering.
No way, you're
obviously,
dead
but the
ass?
lights are completely out. I swear on my mother's life that this actually happened to me. So I'm there and we're just holding it down, and the next thing I know, the lights turn back on, the jiggling stops, and then he sighs, he moves the bed out of the way, and I'm sitting there on the second bed that's in that room, and I'm just trying to catch my breath, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "What the fuck was that?" He opens the door, nothing's there, and he goes like, "Just
Oh
relax."
fuck! I was hoping you didn't say that. Shit. Nothing was
Nothing
there.
was there. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Dude.
At all in the crib.
No. Here's the worst part. You ready for this? 15 minutes later, the mom and the grandma come home. They've been out this entire
Where's
time.
the younger brother?
The younger brother stayed over at a friend's house. I asked him to this day. So what I found out later on that day was, you know, my buddy does not believe in ghosts or any of that stuff. But he did tamper, and again, when I say it, it's going to sound more obvious why. He did tamper with demon circles.
Oh shit.
And he didn't believe that shit back then until he got that happening to him. Dude, as I'm leaving,
I'm getting fucking goosebumps right now, bro. You scared the shit out of me.
there's a little more to this. As I'm leaving his house and I'm getting ready to go home and try to act like nothing happened, He has a wooden door that's the main door to his house, and then he has a half glass, half wooden door. The top half is glass, bottom half is wood. As I walk out, I hear the door just slam right behind him. Dude, he's walking up the stairs. The corner of the door is broken, and he's got this shard of glass sitting in the back of his forearm. Bro, when I tell you that I literally did not go home that night because of that, is because I picked him up because he couldn't move. He was like stunned from like the pain. I had to carry him back up the stairs.
I was going to ask, is that real? But that's actually real.
No, and I had to carry him back up the stairs. Sent him back up the stairs. Talked to his mom. Let him know what happened. The mom has like apparently like a needle, like because she has a lot of pain or whatever. She's got some medical issues. She injects something into his bicep, and he pulls up the glass. And guys, when I tell you how big the piece of glass was, it was ridiculous. It had to have been at least 2 inches deep, and it was a 2-inch piece of glass and hit the back of his forearm.
Fucking A, bro.
Dude, I saw muscle. That's how deep it was.
Oh my God.
Yep, that intense.
Fuck.
And look, I never went back to his house after that. I told him, yo, we're going anywhere. You coming to either my crib or we're going out somewhere. Fuck that.
I would have stopped hanging out with that dude. I'm never hanging out with him again. You fucking demon spawner. Fuck.
I mean, I was 16 and I was very naive. Like I said, I was a nice guy back then.
No, I feel you. Then I would have said the same thing probably at 16. Holy fuck, Roger. Yo, like the amount of goosebumps I got throughout that story, bro, was fucking nuts, dog. Holy
I'm telling you, I can't make this shit up even if I tried, dude, because it just think about it now, got me a little creeped out.
Fuck. I'm creeped out, bro.
Yeah, and Kev, you kind of knew what about this because I did mention this to you, but I didn't go into detail on it because we weren't really thinking like about shit like that, But
I completely agree. Like, experience with Billy has always been weird, man. Because like I've experienced my share of it, though. On my end, has been super lighter.
With him,
but I feel like.
Yeah, with him.
Just the situation that occurred. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I mean, with me, like, I've always had a weird experience with spirits. Like, there's a thing that my grandmother used to say where, like, I just bring, like, you have it too, bro. Jay, you have this luminescing light where we just enter a room and it's just brighter for no reason. Like, whether it's the mood, the light itself, or just the tone, everything just becomes easier. So that effect has always been following me, of course. And so, like, when Roger told me about this, I was just curious myself. I was like, yo, what would happen if I'm there? Because I know from my experiences, like, when things like that occurred, it's been in a lighter sense. And dicho y hecho, I go to Billy's house, and me and him were both very computer savvy. So we're constantly like, the minute something broke, like we're just helping each other out. At this point in time, Red Rings of Death were a big thing on the Xbox 360.
Oh man, that's scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's a heart attack on its own. Fuck that.
So I would bring it over, and we would just try to bypass majority of the code so we could just play it. Whatever you knew back in the day. So we just bust open the console and just start adding some lead to certain circuits. While we're doing that, obviously you set out the parts laid out a certain way so you know where things are, and you have an organized system.
How to put it back. Yep.
I swear to God, I took the lid of the 360 and placed it in a specific area. For the life of me and him, we were looking for this piece forever. Why can't we see it? Because it's been fucking floating in the corner the whole fucking time.
Define
and
floating.
I thought it was okay. Imagine if I had strings attached to the ceiling and it was attached to the
ground,
Xbox.
Kevin? How high off the ground?
If we're gonna think of a regular bedroom, just look at your corner right now, and it's floating right there.
No. But I mean, like, it's levitating slightly off the ground, or is it like chest level, stomach level?
Oh no!
Like,
It's above us. I couldn't. The reason why
Oh,
we were
fuck
looking
no.
up.
Oh, fuck
Yes,
no.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
fuck
yes,
no.
yes.
Fuck no.
No,
Fuck no.
Yes.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. No. I rebuke the devil. Hell the fuck no. Oh, fuck no. Kev, I thought you were talking about like
Oh, it's
hell no,
levitating
not
above the
me.
bed. No. It's literally above me. Like it's one of those things where I'm looking up in the corner. I'm like, no fucking way. And I thought this
that
was
sucks.
like Billy, getting some tape real quick while I'm really focused
Bro.
on the circuit board. He just put some quick tape. Nah, bro. I'm telling you, when I go to grab it, imagine as you're getting closer, like the feeling of dry ice or like ice when your hand is not moisturized.
No.
And you
Oh,
just feel
fuck.
like the tip of your fingers is getting super freaking
Stick.
like crispy cold. Yeah, sticky, crispy cold.
Fuck.
Like that, bro.
Oh my.
It felt like that as I'm trying to reach for it. And Billy think at this point, with Roger's experience, Billy thinking like I'm a madman, like yo Kev, you're fucking wild, like you don't know what the fuck you're
Bro.
tampering with. Me on the other hand, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I gotta get this shit. If not, we're gonna finish the fucking 360, bro. As soon as I touch it, like I swear to you, like as soon as I went, pick, bro, that shit dropped hard, like a big, like done. And I was like, oh hell no, I don't like this shit. Then. Then Billy, he does the same thing. He was grabbing the bed out of reaction, and then I go, I'm thirsty. I go open the door, bro. I shit you not, a knife flew across, as if like I took that step. If I took that step, bro, I would have got hit with a knife.
Wait, was anybody at the crib?
No, it was just me and Billy, and that's the one thing that I was gonna point out. That's the reoccurring theme.
Every time his mom and his grandma and his brother are gone, shit starts happening.
Yeah,
Oh,
shit starts happening.
My God, bro, I'm gonna start crying. I'm scared as fuck, bro.
Yeah, me and Kevin
Holy
have both
shit,
experienced this with this kid.
I got goosebumps out that ass. Oh fuck, you guys like I can't follow this. I can't follow. Holy fuck, that shit makes my shit look like a fucking 8-year-old at a Chuck E. Cheese is having fun, bro. Holy
Hey, look,
fuck.
you wanted the story. We gave it to you. I'm telling you, look, my dad has a very sixth sense with this shit. And my dad told me and Kev, you can vouch for me because my dad.
I'm the witness. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, Kevin said it. He said it in front of Kevin. Ese niño son diablo.
Ten cuidado.
Ten cuidado con ese niño. Oye, ponte piensa cuando está ahí. Cuidado. And then my dad's signature. Cojones. Yo,
Fuck, bro, you guys are scaring the shit out of me right now, bro.
Yo, I'm telling you, me and Kevin have experienced some things here and there, bro. That's not the only one I've got. I've got two more I could tell you, but not with Billy Bass, but I've got one or two that have happened. But we'll say that maybe for a personal.
What's up with all the
time.
Billies just being like evil and shit?
Yo, bro, I don't know. But that boy played with shit he should not have been playing with. Like that's for real. Like that's really bad. So, yeah, there was that. So Jay, you got something?
I don't know. I guess I have my little paranormal like anecdote, but damn, that shit was real. Like, nah, like, cause objects flying is different, bro. That's real life shit, bro. Like the door fucking shaking. No, that's like I'm witnessing it. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to follow that. Fuck, I feel like a stand-up comedian, like following Dave Chappelle and fucking Kevin Hart just now. Like, holy fuck. Holy shit. All right, guys. I want to start off with a question. You guys ever had a sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Not for long.
Have you guys have you guys ever seen shadows and shit?
Oh, I've definitely seen shadows.
I've seen pictures that's around me come to life, but shadows now.
Oh, pictures.
Right, well,
thanks.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off with the folktale, right? So, there is this shadow figure called the Hat Man, right? People describe him as wearing like a top hat or the fedora, or like, and they usually describe him wearing like a trench coat. And like they say he's tall. Sometimes like he's just fully like he looks like pure blackness, like dark matter. Or sometimes people say that he has like glowing red eyes, right? So this is the folktale, and people have seen shadow figures all throughout like just human history, right? Even before like scary movies were made, people have always seen these during sleep paralysis, right? And one of the most common worldwide global phenomenons is this guy, right? That we call the Hat Man. Now, like, just to debunk it, right? Just to give it a chance to get debunked. Experts have like an explanation for it. People say that, when you're on REM sleep, uh, you generate highly emotional charged dreams, and then your body goes into a state of paralysis. That way, like, because if you're emotionally charged, that means you're moving, but your body goes into a state of paralysis, so we don't harm ourselves, right? So like sometimes your mind can wake up and your body can like just stay still. And sometimes the brain creates like a humanoid figure, right? But people people have an explanation, and they say, "Oh, what other, guy with a hat do we know that infiltrates you in your dreams?" Right? So people are going to say that subconsciously that we're creating Freddy Krueger in our heads, right? But this is debunked by people always seeing shadow figures even before Freddy Krueger was made. Right? So this is what the Hat Man is about. Some people think that it's the devil, that it's something paranormal. Let me look right here. Like some people have said that the Hat Man has approached him or hugged him. Some even like UFOologists believe that it might be an alien species visiting, or some people believe that it's some external like multi-dimensional being that we can only see when we're in that state, right? Now that I gave you guys you guys, the audience, some more information on that, I'm gonna go into my personal experience with the Hat Man. So I was like 19 or 20 years old, 18, 19, 20 years old, somewhere around that age range. And um, I wake up early to drop my mom off. I come back home. I'm a little tired, so I put some YouTube on the laptop, and I start watching some serial killer documentaries, right? And I think this one was on Jack the Ripper. And I think this is part of the reason why I stopped watching serial killer documentaries because I fell asleep with my headphones on, right? And when you fall asleep with the laptop and you're back in the day, you used to fall asleep with the laptop, headphones on, you would like kind of just move away, put the headphones to the side, like, and just get in your comfortable like sleeping position. So I was laid flat on my back, and I remember like the visual of in front of me, there was this clock. And this was around 10, 11 a.m. And all of a sudden, like I'm dreaming. Like no, like I see this visual of the clock on the wall, and I go to sleep. But I'm in a dream state now, and my mind is up, but my body is still. So I'm in sleep paralysis at this point. And I hear my sister and my mom and the kids, and my sister's kids, all in the living room. Like I hear them having a conversation and whatnot. And then I remember my nieces and nephews coming into my room and being all excited, like, "Hey, Theo," and then them like giving me hugs and kisses, but like they were reacting like as if I was like hugging them back and like kissing them back. But in my mind, like I couldn't move. Like they were all doing that and saying hi to me, but I couldn't move, right? So then the dream restarts, and I get that view of the clock. and I'm viewing the clock, and all of a sudden, like this, like the dream shifts. It feels like an elevator because the dream restarts, and I'm there again. So then, like, I'm trying my hardest to move, and at this point, my sister, my mom, and the kids are gone. So I'm trying my hardest to move, and I'm like, you get this vision that your legs are moving or anything, but I'm like, in real life, I'm completely still, I assume. Then the dream restarts again, and all of a sudden, like like the door, like my bed is up against the wall and the door is to my left, right? The door opens up, and then I see this shadowy thing with like a top hat just creep in, like creep its head in, and not even look at me, but just look straight at my TV, like he just makes himself aware, right? It's not like it's like a I'm here type thing, not like I'm looking at you type thing. It's like, oh, I'm here, and then that shit closes, right? Like it's creepy. Like it opens, sticks his head out, and then closes. And then the next thing I know, the dream restarts, and then boom, he's right there. And what I could remember is, and this is before I never even knew about sleep paralysis, or like this was never in my head. Like I hadn't even watched Freddy Krueger that much as a kid, but I could remember vividly that this shit was a man with a fedora or a top hat, and he looked like he was in a trench coat because he had no real recognizable limbs. It was more like the shape of a trench coat that was covering him, and it looked like, when you would flip in the old days, when you would flip through the channels on the big TV, and some of it would be static, and it would be that gray, like grainy shit, like it would just be complete static. You guys remember that?
White noise, yeah.
Yeah, white noise. Yeah, the white noise channel on the TV. Yeah, so like, it was, just think of like black matter just moving like that. Like that's how it looked. It looked like he was made of like cosmic space type shit, right? And I'm looking at it, and like I remember looking at it and just feeling fear and trying to get away. Like I even tried like turning away and look to stop looking at it, but I could not stop looking at it. And it was this really intense fear. And then whoop, the dream restarts again, and then he's gone, right? And I'm just left there, and I, like, now at this point I'm scared, and I'm just trying to move, and I'm just trying to like my legs are like hanging out the bed, like in my head my legs are hanging out the bed, but my upper body won't move. And all of a sudden I hear footsteps. I hear cluck, 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 like dress shoes, like male dress shoes, just cluck, cluck, walking back and forth outside my door. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I gotta get out. And all I hear is like the loudest bang. And at that time, the door I used to have was like a very loud door. So that woke me up because I heard that loud ass bang, like bah, like it's just somebody closed the door. And then I woke up, and I'm like, and I woke up like mad sweaty, and like it was crazy. I was like so scared. My heart was racing, but I was like, oh shit. Like the door woke me up, thank God. Like my brother's back from break. Like Wilson used to come, like at that time, he used to come back from break at that time, like to the crib. And so I thought it was him. So I go to say hi to him, and I look, and there's nobody there. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so like I immediately get on the phone, call my friends. And I'm like, hey, you would not believe what the fuck just happened to me. What the fuck are you guys doing? They're like, oh no, we're free. Like we're playing basketball, like at our boys' crib. And I'm like, say less. I am on my way, because I do not want to be at my fucking crib right now. When I tell you guys what the fuck just happened to me, you're not gonna fucking believe me, right? And so I'm just gonna tell two stories here because they tie pretty well together. Years later, guys, right? Like two years later. Dad comes to visit Kev. He's here for our nephew's birthday party, and whatever. There's something important that he tells me. It's funny how the world works, because there's something important that he tells me that becomes pivotal to later in life. to later the next day. What he tells me is because I felt nauseous because I ate too much pizza, and then I went on like the hamster wheel in Chuck E. Cheese. I was young. Don't ask me why. I was just having fun with my nieces and nephews. And then I got nauseous. And then dad was like, "Hey, mijo, like, look, if you really feel like you're gonna throw up, then you would have thrown up. Like, but if you feel like you could handle it, then you gotta remember, like, it's all in your mind. You control your mind. Your mind controls your body. You know, just tell your mind first that you don't want to throw up, and then your body will follow." And then dicho y hecho, I took dad's advice, and then I felt like I just felt like a new man. Like I felt better. You feel me? And so this was pivotal because this was a Friday, and I remember the next day, dad had planned for us to go pick him up real early in the morning, right? So I wake up excited, you know, it's like 10 in the morning, but Wilson's not up yet. My big brother's not up yet. And he's the one with the car. He's the one, you know, and he never likes being woken up. He just likes waking up at his own time. So I'm like, bet I got some time. Watch how the universe and weird shit works, because now, like, I'm in the same position. I woke up way too early, and now I'm getting a little tired towards like 10, 11 in the morning. And as I'm scrolling through Facebook, not even like a shared thing, just an advertisement pops out of nowhere. And it's for this documentary, guys, called The Nightmare. And the cover of the Nightmare thing was the Hat Man with two shadow people behind him. So when I saw the cover, I'm like, oh shit, that's the thing I saw. That's what I saw. I gotta go check this documentary out. So I checked the documentary out, and like it has me scared shitless because a lot of people are saying different things, but one thing that's consistent in particular is the Hat Man, and how he's globally all over the place, like how he's viewed from anywhere from Manchester, England to like all the way over here to all different parts of the States. Like he's just globally like seen and known. So it became like it gave me like a vendetta. Like I thought this was the devil or something, and like I was the one meant to like destroy him or some shit. And so in the video, in the documentary, they tell you how to induce sleep paralysis. So it's kind of how it happened to me the first time. You lay on your back, you look straight up, and then you just fall asleep, and then it's supposed to happen. And then I decide to do it. I'm like, all right, bet I'm gonna induce the sleep paralysis. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna fight this guy. I'm like, I'm gonna take care of myself, you know, on some juvenile shit. And this is when shit gets scary because I fall asleep and I have the dreams, right? And I have these dreams, and Raj, Kevin will tell you, like we get this certain sixth sense and through these certain visions from dreams that we get from dad. And so my dreams were that I was like grinding weed in front of my mom, and we were arguing, and it was like because she didn't want me to do it anymore, whatever. And we were arguing. I was telling her, shut up, shut up, shut up. And like by the fourth shut up, like it was like me yelling like really loud, and then the dream shifts, like it just morphs, and then I'm yelling shut up into like a pillow, and like this silhouette of the moonlight is hitting me. I'm crying into the pillow, just shut up. Like I'm repeating shut up, but this time I'm crying into a pillow. And then all of a sudden, like the dream morphs back, and I'm in sleep paralysis at this point because I know I'm in my mind, but my body can't move. Like I can't move my body at all. And then this is when like, oh fuck, I'm like, this is when reality hits. I'm like, oh fuck, I really did this shit. I really induced the sleep paralysis. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to fight this guy. so so then like I'm trying to like wake up, but it's like my soul is trying to move out of its body, because every time I was trying to get up, like I heard this real loud like jet engine vibrational sound in my ears, like just crazy sounds. And this happened twice. I tried to get up twice. I'm like, it happened for a split second. I'm like, whoa, that's not supposed to happen. And then I tried it again. It's like, I'm like, oh fuck, that's crazy. That's not supposed to happen. So I'm like, all right, what are we doing here? then dad's voice comes into my it comes out of nowhere. Dad's voice comes into my head. Control your mind. And I'm like, oh yeah, dad said that. So I'm like, I take one deep breath out through the mouth, and then I'm like, I take 3 deep breaths, and then I'm like, and then I wake up, right? And I'm so hyped. Kev, I believe like I think I called you like right after. I was so hyped that this shit, like I just started writing everything that happened down because I knew what the dream was trying to tell me. And I was trying to write everything down, and then I look up top, and I see like this frame that was hung up of my sister, who I dreamt about in the first dream, and the kids and my brother-in-law, all in one frame. Like that picture frame had fallen right in the middle of me having this dream or this experience. And not only did it fall, but it's like somebody, because the nail was still attached to the wall, like the nail, and it was straight in, and this thing was hung by a string. So then I look at the string, and the string was still intact. Like the string was fully still intact. So I'm like, there's no way, because this is a long ass nail, and if it's not bent downwards, if it's still straight up, that means somebody had to pull it back and drop it, right? So I'm like, no way this shit just fucking happened. No way this shit just fucking happened as I'm sleeping, because I go inspect the nail. Like I'm the first one to be like skeptical about this shit, but then I go inspect the nail, and the nail's still straight on, and the string is still attached. So I'm like, all the explanations are gone. And yeah, and then years later I have more experiences with sleep paralysis, visions and shit. But it like then I have another dream years later when I moved in with dad, which was like 4 years ago. And in that dream I see myself from the past as myself from now, and for some reason, like it was a split second dream, and for some reason I'm the one pulling the frame back, but with telekinesis in my dream. And I see myself and I could and I didn't even know what I was wearing until I saw myself. That's how I know this must have been like some real shit. Like, cause I saw myself and I was like, oh yeah, that's what I was wearing. I was wearing the fucking white tank top with the fucking beach shorts. I was like, oh fuck yeah, that is what I was wearing. And so like, it's so weird how these things are, and so weird like that people say, I was reading up, UFOologists were saying that this was like, that these are like aliens, or that this might be like some paranormal, like extra dimensional being. And it's funny because that's what they were saying, and that's what I was assuming myself, because it looks so different from anything that I've ever experienced. It was just so different than anything I've ever heard. And it was so fucking weird. And it was so fucking weird because when the first story had happened to me, I had a reunion with a female friend of mine, and then she ended up having the same experience, and we hadn't even spoken to each other or told each other of that story. And she ended up like the same experience, like from detail to detail, like sleep paralysis, and like seeing the shadow figure, like fucking her mom and her sister and her nieces and nephews were having the conversation. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? So this wasn't as scary as your guys' story, but this is like fascinating to me because it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, I couldn't tell, bro. It's not like you just went on a 30-minute tangent. I could not.
No, that shit is fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't downplay. It doesn't downplay anything. You had something that would be considered a traumatic experience, if being quite frank. Yeah, it fucked with you. It made you think things, and made you kind of like almost want to experiment. These are things that have a very high impact on you, and honestly, it made you kind of almost want to delve deeper. And that's honestly, I feel like that's the scary part about all this. That it made you want to go back.
Yeah, because I thought it was like demonic or something. You know, like my name being Jesus and shit. I felt like I had to do something about it, but then I cowered real quick. But you know, I haven't seen that shadow figure since or anything like that. It's just been more a sleep paralysis experience and shit. But that shit just happened. It was a one and done. It was a one and done.
Wow, dude. Again, that's crazy that
Oh,
you had a friend that was very close by, that you were close to, that also experienced it. I feel like that kind of made the experience a little bit more like easier going for you. So
which reminds me, Raj, when we shared a bed, yeah, we shared a bed, motherfuckers. When we shared a bed in Ecuador, remember? And it
yeah,
was not the room from Dad's best friends. It was the one where we stayed at the hotel. Remember in fucking you remember when we stayed at the hotel and we had to share a bed?
yeah.
All right. That dream I had a dream that there was a portal and there was like a shadow figure, but he was moving like very primal, very tribal. Like he looked like a tribal shadow figure. Like he was doing this weird like dance, and it felt like he was like absorbing the energy away from me, bro. And it was weird, bro, because it was like I could see the portal, and I had the sleep paralysis shit, and it was like absorbing it. And I was like, and then I said, "In the name of Jesus Christ," like it stopped. And then, bro, as soon as I said that, that shit stopped, bro. And I don't know, and I don't know what made me say like the Lord's name, but like I just didn't know what else to do. And as soon as I said that shit stopped, bro. Like it's just fucking weird, bro. It's just fucking weird. It's just some weird shit.
Well, Jay, you were home technically. If you think about it, maybe it was something contacting you that you didn't realize.
Shit. It was just some weird shit. Yeah, man. Oh fuck. But yeah, guys, that's all the time we have for now. You know, it's Halloween. It's fucking scary. It's real scary out there with all the people getting canceled, with society crumbling, with people at the brink of war, with fucking knives flying, with fucking Xbox lids levitating above people, bro. It's been fucking real. But if you stuck with us this long, then stick with us forever and you won't go wrong. This has been the Hooligans High podcast. Now it's time for the Hooligan Bye. This has been Jay.
It's Kev.
Hey, your boy Roger.
And we love y'all. Take it easy. Peace, hooligans.
Stay safe, yo. Check your candies.